What's up, everybody? Do you enjoy traveling? Do you enjoy going out to eat? Well, what if every time you swiped your credit card to pay for your traveling, your eating, your entertainment, the credit card company gave you some rewards? What's up, everybody? It's Brad.
I'm Rich.
And today, we're going to give you 3 benefits to owning a credit card with an annual fee. But before we get started, let me just give you a quick rundown on what we got going on right here. We're filming this in 360-degree video. What that means is, number one, if you have a VR headset, throw it on right now, leave a comment below, and tell me how this experience is for you, because you'll literally be sitting in the boxing gym with us. The other thing you could do, which is number 2, is take your finger or your mouse and literally go anywhere in this room with us. You're going to be able to get a 360-degree view of anywhere in this boxing ring that you want to look. Now that that's all cleared up, let me get back into this. So think about the last 10 purchases that you made with a credit card. Did you take an Uber? Did you take your wife or your significant other out to eat? Did you go to the movies? Whatever it is. Think of how routine those purchases are. Buying items off of Amazon, whatever it is. Believe it or not, credit card companies will heavily reward you based on the number of purchases. But in order to understand where you could get these benefits, you really got to have a general understanding of what these benefits are. And that's why today, like I said, we're going to give you the top 3. So without further ado, Rich, let's get benefit number 1.
All right, so benefit number 1. All right, before I start getting into it, what I want you to do is follow Brad's instructions. Look to your right. So take your finger and move the screen or your mouse, or look over your shoulder if you have a VR headset, to benefit number 1, which is access. All right, so access is the top benefit in my mind. Things you get access to are things like Priority Pass. All right, so Priority Pass is something that gets you into lounges at airports. Also gets you meal vouchers at airports. So $28 is the standard for a meal voucher that you get in an airport while you're waiting for a flight, or maybe your flight got delayed, something like that. But you get to sit in a restaurant and basically get a meal for free. I mean, nice. You know, everything is more expensive in an airport, but you get the meal for free essentially, and you get one guest that you get to bring in there. So 28 times 2, that's 2 meals for you and significant other, right?
Yep.
You got a family, you and your significant other have that card. Boom, you just each get a guest, and now that's 4 people that get paid for on that.
Wow.
So yeah, pretty crazy, right? Make sure you tip the waiter or waitress though.
Do we know what card that is?
So that is available on a couple top cards that we'll mention at the end, but American Express Platinum is one of them, Chase Sapphire Reserve, City Prestige. Those are 3 off the bat that will give you that.
And at $28, that's standard.
Yeah, that's a standard for Priority Pass membership. It's Priority Pass Select membership that you get, so unlimited visits to all these lounges. Second one, though, is if you like entertainment, you like going to concerts and whatnot, early access. You still pay for that event, but you're getting early access before everybody else can access those tickets to some events. So if you have like an American Express Platinum card, call the concierge desk, and you get somebody picks up right away. Great customer service. Hey, Rich, you want to go to this concert over here? Yep. All right, great. We got these early access tickets, and we'll charge it straight to your card, send it to your email. Don't worry about Ticketmaster, no extra fees, anything, whatever. It's all done. Great. So that's another access point that you have.
Beautiful.
And then global entry and TSA PreCheck.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So if you like to travel, get straight to the front of the line. And they reimburse you for that application credit as well.
Oh, really?
So yeah.
What is it, like $79 a year for the TSA?
Well, so you pay one-time fee up front, and they reimburse that fee, and I'm pretty sure it's good for like 5 years.
Wow. So you're basically getting a TSA application done for free.
Yeah. You apply, you charge it on that card, and you get a statement credit back.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So that'll lead us. That'll pretty much close out access. There's a little bit more to it, but those are the highlights right there.
Okay, and also if anybody wants to hear this fleshed out a little bit more, you could go to iTunes and subscribe to 3 to 1 Financial Podcast, because this is only going to be a shorter video today. We're not going to do these longer format ones. And if you want to get more information on this, we're going to flesh it out a lot more on that podcast. But anyway, going back, what about benefit number 2?
Yeah, so benefit number 2, you take a look over here, right? It pays for itself. All right, so once again, just look over your left shoulder or scroll to the left. The annual fee makes up for itself. So most of these cards that we'll talk about have about $450 to $550 annual fees, which some people might want to click off the screen now and be like, yeah, I don't have the money for that. But it makes up for itself by card in different ways. So if you look at a card like Chase Sapphire Reserve, for example, $450 annual fee, but you get $300 of travel credit back per calendar year.
Got it.
So that's going to the parking meter and swiping your card. That's paying for a plane ticket, anything.
And does this automatically get deducted out, or do you have to claim it? Like
no, it's very clean. It's very clean. It just applies to your statement. That's it. Once that vendor code, so every vendor has a different code, right? If you purchase from an airline, they have a travel, category code. As soon as you charge that $300, or say you charge $500, you'll see $300 come back, or whatever's left in your balance of statement credit.
Got it. So once you go over that threshold, they kick it right back to you.
Yeah, once you go even if you're under the threshold, if you charge $100, if you charge 5 cents, you charge $1.50 on the parking meter, you get $1.50 back, up until you reach your $300 threshold.
Oh, got it. So it's actually happening in rolling,
yeah.
It's rolling.
Yeah, you don't have to make one single purchase. It's up
so
until
you don't have
that.
to wait 2 years for it. You don't got to wait a year. It
Nah,
just starts happening
right away. Within 7 days or so, tops.
Nice.
Or at the end of the statement sometimes.
And do you know any credit cards specifically that is on?
Yeah, so the Chase Sapphire Reserve,
Yep.
also the City Prestige has that. But theirs is $250, whereas the Chase Sapphire Reserve is $300. So if you're looking at Chase Sapphire Reserve, $450 annual fee, but $300 of that is given back to you in travel credit.
Got it.
Now you're paying $150 a year.
Got it.
Now take away from that Priority Pass Select membership, which I can't quote the exact price, but I'm pretty sure it's about $100 or over $100. So that's free right there. Plus the meals that you're going to get in those lounges.
Got it.
You can take a shower in some of those lounges, get a free meal, get free liquor, free beer, all those types of things. So that's just for City Prestige and Chase Sapphire Reserve. Those are two ways.
It makes me feel like I want to go get one of those right now.
Yeah. So then another way that it makes up for itself is through things like the Amex Platinum has an Uber credit. So $200 a year, and they give it to you in $15 a month increments. So you connect your Amex Platinum to your Uber account, and then you charge on there. Every month you'll see you have $15 in Uber credits.
Sweet, man.
Yeah, so so that's that right there, and then
okay, and let's move on to 3. So
yeah.
benefit number 3.
So number 3 is the return on purchases, right? Okay. So you're going to get anywhere from, on a regular credit card, you'll probably get 1 point back for $1 spent, right? But like Brad said earlier, the thing that you're spending the most money on is probably entertainment, travel, food, things like this. So you want to be rewarded maximally for those purchases because you make them the most. Well, most of these cards reward you 2 to 5 times points for those purchases. And if you purchase directly with an airline or directly with that credit card through their travel portal, you'll access some of those higher points, like 5 times points. But some of them, like Chase Sapphire Reserve, they just give you a flat 3 times back for travel or dining.
Got it.
So if I go up the block, I get, and I buy a bagel or whatever, I get 3 times points for that. If I go buy a plane ticket, I get 3 times points, whatever the case may be.
Got it.
So then you have something like an Amex Gold, which is only $250 a year, and you get 4 times back at grocery stores. So that's huge because we spend a lot of money there, right? So
I got an Amex Gold. So that's for now Amex Gold. Can you have that for the business, or is it?
Yeah, you could do it. Well, the thing with when you get into the business and the personal, they have different
tiers. Right?
They have different benefits. So the Amex Platinum business card, that doesn't have the Uber credit on it.
Okay.
So, but the personal one does.
Okay.
So
you got to know the difference.
You got to know the difference if you're going to get a business one or if you're going to. They still both have great benefits, and the Priority Pass, Global Entry, all that stuff is standard among those cards. So basically, if you want to get the most back on your purchases of dining, travel, entertainment, you definitely want to get one of these cards that you pay for, because at the end of the day, you're really not paying that full amount. You're definitely not paying that full amount because you're going to get a lot of it back. And if you really know how to game it, you could break even or even make out on that credit card.
Well, that's the idea, right? So to recap it all here, the first thing is benefit number 1, access.
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to get accessibility to locations or things at specific locations, like the what do you call it, the lounge
Yeah.
at the airport, or if you're at a concert, you're going to be able to get in earlier, maybe do some cool stuff while you're there. And then the second thing is that the fee, basically it on a barter system type of way gets paid for itself. So
Yeah.
like you were breaking down the Chase Sapphire, it's $450 a year, but they're already giving you $300 right off the bat in travel credits,
Right.
and then you're not even including the $28 per meal. If you end up if you do one trip a year and you have a family of 4, including yourself, boom, right there. You're basically almost
It's $112.
Yeah. So you're $30 or $40, and that's not including any of the other benefits that you're probably going to get for it.
Yeah.
And then benefit number 3 is if you use the site, you can actually ramp up the number of points that you're getting.
Yeah, so it's just the percentage of points, but you don't necessarily have to use the site. It does, for some of them, like Amex Platinum, you get 5 times back on flight purchases, on travel purchases, on flights, but you either have to book direct with the airline or book direct through their travel website.
Oh, so you can even go direct with the airline.
Yeah, you could go direct to. Some people don't know that, so
okay, no,
yeah.
that's big.
So,
because then if you got to change it or you got to do whatever, you don't got to listen to the airline give you a story about, I can't do anything because you used a third party.
multiple layers, yeah, third party. And so yeah, those are the 3 big benefits, but something that you definitely want to remember is if you're on active duty military, you have the Service Members Civil Relief Act and the Military Lending Act that will waive those annual fees for you.
Oh.
So yeah, a guy like me, I have a few credit cards that equal to thousands in annual fees that I don't pay anything for because of my active duty military status. So if you're on that, if you have that status, you definitely want to get on that train. So if you call up that card company, like Chase has a dedicated military line. We'll put their number in the description below. Amex has a dedicated military line. Most of these companies do because they want to be in compliance with the Service Member Civil Relief Act and the Military Lending Act. Hit them up, let them know, apply for the card. If you meet the conditions, then you will be waived that annual fee. So there you go, free. So you just got $300 in travel credit, free. $200 in Uber credit, free. Because you're not paying that annual fee.
No brainer.
So yeah, so
especially active military, a lot of guys are doing traveling.
Yeah.
Guys and girls.
Yeah.
Yes,
exactly.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, man. So those are the big benefits, 3 benefits right there. There's a ton more out there, but to keep this video short and sweet, those are the main ones.
Sounds good, man. So we're gonna wrap it up. We'll do more videos on this, but again, if you want to find out what those credit cards are, me and Rich are actually going to do a podcast on this for iTunes, Stitcher, all of the other third parties that you could get the podcast from, or you could go to Libsyn directly. But the point is, we're going to do a podcast. We're going to flesh that all out. It's going to be all the credit cards and fees, basically, a much longer format. And go check us out there if you want to learn more about it. If not, we will see you all next week.